do something that would help people more. I was tired of just doing retail, selling things to people. It was fun, but I wanted to do something a little more meaningful. So I started volunteering at this domestic violence agency that was in the town that I was working in, and I started working pretty regularly and got to know people, and eventually that worked itself into a full-time job. And as I got farther into that, I realized that I was going to have to get some sort of master's degree, and I didn't have the tools that I needed to really help people the way that I wanted to, because they needed so much more than I could do for them. But one thing that it did do for me that was great was I was an advocate for these people, and I found that I could be really super persistent to get things for people, and it really energized me to help people that way. So that was one thing that I realized that I was good at and I liked. So then I was working part-time there, and I was working full-time still at the record store, and one of my customers said, hey, we need somebody to work at the front desk at Green River Community College. So then I quit the job at the record store, and I worked part-time at Green River and part-time at the shelter. And then I ended up working into a job full-time at Green River, and after I worked just the front desk helping people register and that kind of thing, I got into what we call credentials evaluation. So that's where people bring in transfer credits and you decide where they go and how they transfer in. And so I did that for a few years, and then one of my friends who had left the same job as me and came over to UW-T said, hey, we need another credentials evaluator at UW-T. So what I had already figured out at Green River, because I'd seen what the professional advisors did, and I'd figured out that I really liked that job because I would like to have more in-depth conversations with students than I was able to have as a credentials evaluator. So I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get that job at Green River because you had to have a master's degree. So I thought, okay, if I go to UW-T and I work there, they have master's degrees. I could get a master's degree there, and maybe I could be an advisor. Well, so I went over here, and I was here about 1.5 years, and I was doing evaluations, credentials evaluations for the Institute of Technology. So I got to know the advisors there really well, and we worked together a lot. And I also worked with the students who were just coming in and just got admitted. So they would come and see me, and I would go over their credits and how they transferred and talk to them about how they all fit into the major and that sort of thing. So then this job came open for a recruiter / advisor at the Institute, and I interviewed for it. And because I had the knowledge of how the credits were working and how the major was structured, and I also had the ability to work with people from all the work that I did at all the different places, it was a really good match. And I gave a presentation on, like, if I was a recruiter, and I have a background in theater, performance, music, whatever, so that went over really well. And it was sort of this great coming together of all the different elements of things I'd tried before, and it all kind of came together in this one job. And so I've been doing that for almost 10 years, and I think it is the perfect job for me because it does incorporate all the things about me that I like. Plus, I can share with people someone who didn't have what I'm now offering, and someone who got a degree they never wanted and eventually found my way, but it took me a long time and it was the hard way. I can help you guys to get there quicker. And I also know kind of what the motivation is behind why people choose what they choose. I know why I did it, and so then I can help you to sort of get through some of that so that you don't have to spend as many years finding yourself as I did. So I really love what I do, and I think it's something that a lot of faculty and people on campus don't really understand, but students understand, because hopefully I've been able to help people just to make it easier to find your way, and to help you to understand yourself better. And I think it's great that we have this class. John, you're doing a great job, because I do think that knowing yourself is really important in how you're going to choose your career path. I think truly for me, success is doing something that you love to do most of the time. It doesn't have to be the same thing all the time, but it needs to be something you truly love, and giving back, doing something that you feel helps people and is useful. There's a degree, it doesn't have to be here. It can be wherever you find it, but there's a degree for just about everything, and there's a career in just about everything. So you really need to examine yourself and what do you truly love to do, regardless of what anybody says about you, what your parents want, what you think you should do. You need to look at what you like, because that's the career you need to go for.